Hello and welcome to today's practice. Bringing our hands to heart center, setting an intention. Maybe you want a little bit more flexibility today. Maybe you want a little bit more connection. Taking our left ear to our left shoulder so we give our neck a little bit of a stretch. Right ear to right shoulder. Back to center. Taking the head backwards. Just being really gentle with the neck. And then dropping the chin towards the chest. Making sure we're sitting nice and tall. And doing some semicircles with the neck. From the left to the right and the right to the left. Just really gently, not pushing it past its limits. And then we'll do the back half. Just rolling it from side to side. And then back to center. Stretching our left arm out, using the right arm to pull the left arm towards the chest. Giving our shoulders a bit of a stretch. Our upper arms. Changing over to the other side. And then interlacing the fingers and turning them inside out as we stretch our arms out in front, dropping our head slightly. And then spinning the hands the other way and giving our scapula a beautiful stretch at the back there. And moving our hands high above our head. Arms are by the side of our ears. Maybe leaning to one side and then over to the other, just to get a bit of a side bend. Hands to the floor as we come into tabletop position. I'm just going to take the right arm long, left leg long, and then bringing them as high as we can. This is just a little bit of a variation on our cat-cow today and our bird dog, kind of combining the two, I guess. Holding it for a little bit on the last. And then changing over to the other side. Right leg goes long, left arm goes long. And we're looking for this curve shape in the body. You should be feeling it in the glutes and the lower back, the shoulders. And then toes together, knees out wide as we sit down on our heels in child's pose. Gently melting our forehead onto the mat. And taking about 3 or 4 rounds of breath here. And slowly coming back up to tabletop, tucking the toes, coming into downward facing dog. Hips are high, legs are straight. You might want to pedal out the legs. Dropping the head heavy between the arms. And coming into high plank. Really engaging the core here. And the upper body. Taking the left leg high, bringing it in towards the elbow, then dropping it to the wrist, elbow, wrist, elbow, wrist. And then gently planting the left foot on the outside of the left hand. Dropping our right knee to the mat and pulling the body forward with the hands. And then we're gently going to push the left knee out with our left hand, leaning onto the right hand that's planted down on the mat. Just getting this deeper stretch in through the hips and the pelvis. Maybe coming down onto the forearms if your body allows. Otherwise you can stay up on the hands. And breathing deeply into this pose. And then gently tucking the toes and taking the left foot back to meet the right. Coming onto our side, we're going to plant down through the right hand, right arm, take the left hand high. Both legs are straight in this side high plank. You can drop to your knee if you need to. Otherwise, keep the hips high. And then take the left leg and raise it towards the sky, and then bringing the knee towards the chest. Challenging your balance here. Really working all areas of our abdomen. Coming back into high plank. Slowly lowering the body to the mat. Untucking the toes. And then pushing up through the hands into baby cobra. Breathing in, exhaling on the way down. Breathing in, exhaling. Taking our arms by our side now. We're going to lift the chest off the floor. Just take a couple of breaths here before lifting the legs, coming up onto the lower stomach and pelvis. And if you want to, you can grab both feet into bow position. Lifting the body a little bit higher off the floor, gently releasing the legs. And then slowly pushing the body up into downward facing dog. If this is too much to go back into downward facing dog, you can drop down straight into child's pose. And if you have any knee injuries, feel free to do the closed-legged child's pose, which is a little bit gentler on the knees. And just letting the back relax. If you can't quite get the bottom on the heels, you can use a pillow or a cushion to sit on. Pushing back into downward facing dog. I'm going to change sides now. So right leg goes high. Bringing the knee to the elbow, to the wrist, to the elbow, to the wrist. A couple of times. And then taking the foot to the outside of the right hand. Dropping the left knee to the mat, untucking the toe. Just pulling the body forward. And then gently pushing the right knee with the right hand out on an angle. And then feel free to stay on the hands or come down to the forearms for an even deeper stretch. Just be mindful that we're not going past any limitations, causing any injuries. Slowly coming back up onto the hands, tucking the toes, bringing the feet to meet each other as we turn to the other side. Left hand planting down on the ground, right hand going high. Legs are straight, or you can drop down onto the left knee if you need to. Bringing the knee up towards the chest. And then taking the leg high. Holding this pose, working our abs here. And then coming back into high plank, shifting onto our tips of our toes. and then lowering the body down slowly, untucking the toes, 3 baby cobras. Or if you want to go into Sphinx pose, you can do that as well. Bringing the arms down by the side of the body, raising the chest off the mat, then the legs. Really squeezing the shoulder blades together here. Slowly coming back down. Pushing through the hands into downward facing dog. And dropping to child's pose one more time. Feel free to walk the hands to the left and the right side to get a bit of a side stretch as well. Or you can find some peace and serenity just as you are. Slowly coming up onto our hands now. Tucking the toes. Coming into the side plank. Right hand's planted down, hips are high, legs are straight. Left leg is high. And then we're going to plant the left foot on the mat as we take the left arm up and over. So you get this beautiful back bend. And then coming back to high plank, lowering the body down. 3 baby cobras. And then bringing the hands to our sides, raising the chest off the mat, raising the legs off the mat. You can grab the feet again if you like and go into bow pose. Otherwise pushing back into downward facing dog. We come onto the left side now. Left hand plants down, legs are straight, right arm is up towards the sky, raising the right leg. And then planting the right foot on the ground as the right arm reaches up and over the body. Coming back into high plank. And then slowly lowering down. 3 baby cobras. Syncing your breath with each transition. Hands by our sides. Lifting the chest high. Lifting the legs. Slowly lowering the body back to the mat. Pushing up into child's pose. Or you can go into downward facing dog. Whatever you're feeling is best for your body today. Three or 4 rounds of breath here. In through the nose, out through the nose. And slowly coming back up onto your hands as we come into a seated position, and then slowly lowering the body to the mat. Coming into reverse tabletop. Just going to take each leg and lightly tap the toes to the ground. And then using the abs to slowly lower both legs down, toes gently touching the mat before raising them up again. And then left arm and right leg will go long. Changing to the other side. Right arm, left leg long. Alternating sides again. Really focusing on control and elongation here. Coordination. It's connecting the right and left sides of the brain. Hugging the knees in towards the chest. And we're just going to go into a back bend here, so feet are shoulder width apart. The hands are going to come beside the head. We're going to push up through the feet and the hands at the same time, taking the hips high and dropping our gaze between our hands. And eventually we want to be able to get the hands closer towards the heels of the feet. Take the body a little bit higher. And then slowly coming back down to the mat. Tucking the knees in one more time. Taking the feet wide and letting the knees fall heavy in towards each other. And you can stay in this position if you like as we close out today's practice. Or you can take the legs long and let the feet fall heavy to the sides as we come into our final resting pose, Shavasana. I'm going to be here for about 5 or 6 minutes. So just gift yourself this time. Find some peace and serenity as you feel your body melting deeper and deeper into relaxation. Letting go of any thoughts that creep into your head, just moving them along. There's nothing that you need to do or be right now. So take this time and give yourself the space, the energy, and the love that you deserve. Bringing some movement back into the hands and the feet. Maybe stretching the body, stretching the arms, flexing the feet, whatever feels good. Just to wake the body up a little bit, rolling over to one side. And taking your time to come back into the seated pose. Sitting nice and tall, maybe crossing the legs in the unnatural way to what you normally do. And taking a deep breath in as we bring our hands to our third eye. May we have kind and loving thoughts today. As we lower our hands to our mouth, may we speak kind and loving words today. As we lower our hands to our heart space, may we have kind and loving intentions today. I hope something magical happens to you today, wherever you are in the world. Namaste.